And it's a special one. It's really, really, really speaking about someone who's given so much culturally to our landscape. Someone who reinvented what it is really to be a musician. Because traditionally, black women were singers and performers and dancers, but this woman brought poetry to the forefront with a black woman saying those words. And we know, in certain spheres, poetry is seen as a very elite subject, a very elite thing to be able to do. So to have someone from South London be one of the best poets you'll probably ever hear in our lifetime and do it to music, I'm sorry, that's groundbreaking. So I want you please to welcome Natalie, the Floacist Stewart.
Nice, wasn't it?
All true. So, you weren't here last night. We did our first ever Maestro Still Rising last night, and the only thing that stays the same is the first question. Everything else, we have no idea where this is going to go. We're just going to have a conversation and pretend they're not here, and we're just going to chat, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the first thing I ask on Maestro Still Rising is a question that most black and brown people are asked a lot. So it's, where are you from?
And how long do we have? Okay. I'm a South Londoner, right? Proud Brit. My parents were both born in Jamaica and came late Windrush. My mum earlier than my dad. My dad was in the forces, so I'm actually born in Germany, which makes me extremely British, actually, if you if you do the history. I started school in Hong Kong. I didn't actually come to live in London until I was 7. So the from is, there's a lot of Jamaica in there, but we know that we're from before Jamaica. But very proud St. Annian. And
Are you from St. Anne's?
Grandma St. Anne.
That's a great parish.
Grandma
For
St.
people
Anne.
who aren't from Jamaica, Bob Marley is from St. Anne's
I mean,
parish.
I don't want to brag.
It's
Marcus Garvey. I mean, stop.
She's showing off here.
Winston Reedy, Bernisphere. I don't look into this stuff.
Everyone from St. Anne's shows off, so I thought I'd do that for her. Yeah, like the great people in our cultural landscape.
My grandmother, you might not know her, but trust me. Yeah.
They come from St. Anne's. So, Germany, Hong Kong, South London.
South.
At 7 years old, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, indeed.
So, how did you fit in at school? Because you're from these different places.
I'm a little sister, okay? So I have an audience at home. Then I have an audience at school. I fit in. I mean, we had such a core base. When you're an army brat, your core family, so siblings, parents, as long as they're there, you're fine, And we started off where we were in a minority. So most of the places we are, say in Hong Kong, every British person was a minority there, so it was great, And we used to love the only black in the village. We loved that, we rock it. Like, everyone knows. The Stewarts, the Stewarts. Oh, yeah, my sisters, my brother, my dad, my mom, everybody, So a lot of pride in that and enjoying that. So we fit right in. I mean, I came to London at 7. It was fine. I let the racism work for me. I let everyone believe that I was related to Whitney Houston and LL Cool J and Bobby Brown.
Where was this? In Germany?
No, that was in London. That was in my primary school.
So in London, they still felt that you were related to Whitney
Well, I just let it happen, you know, storyteller, you know.
Do you think that maybe you instigated that thought? Is that what you're saying
I
here,
did
Natalie?
at one point get Queen Latifah to call my mum auntie on the phone, so it's not quite a lie, more a premonition, you know. But no, I fit in. My sister and my brother is a little bit harder for because they came here. They were 12 and 14. My brother definitely had too much manners for London. He had to bring the manners down. He said thank you to the bus driver when his friends looked at him like he was crazy, you know. But no, it was a great time. It was great time in mid-late 80s. Everything's happening. Music's great, you know, community's great. African Caribbean community centers all over the place, dominoes licking, reggae playing, good times, good vibes, Black British soul, everything was happening. It was a great time.
Right, so I don't know if you guys, because we've just passed Carnival, so the first young Natalie, the iteration of Natalie that some of you might have seen went viral. And this was Natalie speaking about Carnival with sass.
Sass.
And how old were you?
I believe that was my first year at the Brit School, so I'm either 14 or 15 in that video. I think 14 because those were my pre-Brit School best friends. You could kind of date it like that. So I would say 14.
Okay, so every year when Carnival comes out, this goes round and does the loops.
It was actually an Open University documentary about Carnival. So it would come on the telly every year, and then the internet happened, and it goes viral every year.
Yeah, just Google it, because this is someone who's so self-assured at such a young age, like intelligently putting a point, but with real authenticity and belief. How did you get to the Brit School? Was it that belief that got you there?
Oh, it was that performance energy. I heard about the Brit School the year I applied for it. I'm actually a part of the first year 10 intakes. So the school was in its third year of conception when we got there. Went on to be their first Grammy-nominated artist, you know, last Brit School Student of the Year that they had.
Wow.
I heard about the Brit School and I just knew it was my school. I literally knew it was my school. I was timing out of my school at the time, Ashburton, and I'd come to realize it wasn't so much a school as a youth club.
Describe that to us. What made it a youth club?
The teachers made it a youth club because I think they were the ones who were actually at the youth club.
Really?
The kids, we were there. The teachers were, it wasn't, I was big into education, loved getting good grades, loved it, loved popularity and everything, but loved an A on a paper, you know. And I just came to realize that the teachers, they weren't there, you know. And I'd aged out the school, and as an army brat, you know, being somewhere for more than 3 years, it's kind of like, hey, what's happening? So yeah, I heard about Brits, and I applied. I knew I was going.
But I don't think your teacher wanted you to go. Can you, so Natalie tells me about, there's one particular school teacher at Ashburton.
Yeah, Mr. Elliot. Ugh. Yeah, Mr. Elliot used to do things like, Stuart, your skirt's too long. And there'd be like 2 girls walking past me in mini skirts. Like, what do you mean my skirt's too long, you know? But he had whatever problems he had. So I did a speech for him the day I was going to pick up my Brit application.
What
and
did you say to him?
I'm gonna make it. And when I make it and they call you to be on my This Is Your Life, pretend you didn't know me.
And now, welcome.
Don't tell them that you were hard on me because you knew there was something special. Just don't bother come. Yeah. Then I went and picked up the application form.
But do you see what I mean by sass at that age, to go and tell the headmaster, when I'm on This Is Your Life, don't turn up.
Yeah, please. He was a troublesome character, but yeah.
Right, so Brit School, what was your audition piece? Were you doing poetry then?
I didn't know I was a poet at this point. I knew I could chat. I wrote songs, I wrote plays, I was an actress. I went to Brit School for acting, performing arts, theatre studies, media. So yeah, I didn't. They did their interview, and they've changed it a little, but it was all off of persona and personality. And it's not that they were only looking for extroverts, but they were looking for a spark, you know. And yeah, I got it.
Yeah, yeah, you had spark. So you start there. You're doing acting,
Yes.
and somehow at this Brit School, which was 3 years in, was it?
I was there for 4 years. I was the first,
You were the first year 10
student, so yeah, first, fourth year intake there.
Right, and then somehow, Marsha.
Well, Marsha is there. Marsha and I knew each other from before that, through basketball. And we both started Brits at the same time, but she's 2 years older than me. So she was in year 12, I was in year 10. She did music business. We'll get back to that. I did performing arts. Yeah, I did performing arts and theatre, but everyone at that school, if you could hold a tune, you were in a singing group, and I was in a singing group, and Marsha was in the singing group, and we used to do foyer concerts and things like that. So, and it was a musical time. I mean, SWV, H-Town, Intro, Jodeci, you know, so everyone was singing together and just vibing out on American soul, you know. And yeah, so that was just the vibe of the school. It was really like Fame, just in South London. Hogwarts and Fame.
Hogwarts and Fame.
Yeah.
So you and Marsha are at the same school, but in different groups.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you left school.
Yep.
Presumably with flying colours, both of you.
Yeah, absolutely. We left, and I started. I found out I was a poet.
How? How do you find something
like
that out?
I didn't perform for a whole entire year, which was just, for any performing spirits in here, it was crazy. I didn't perform for a year. And when I did, in that year, I wrote a lot. And my aunt actually set me up to go to a writing class with Courtier Newland, actually.
Yes, okay.
And I turned up with all my work and said, you know, what should I do? And he said, I don't think you need any help with your work. I mentioned I was an actress as well, and he invited me down to read for a play that he had just written. And when I was there, I had a few poems that I had memorized. I had work I was memorizing, and a friend of mine, I met two people on that day. Dara Grace is here, actually. We went on to become a poetry group. In fact, the first person I said I was a poet to, you know, what do you do? I'm a poet. And yeah, we ended up starting a poetry group called 3+1. I was the +1. Yeah, that just took off from there. So at 19, I realized I was a poet. At 19, I realized that all of the things that I did, that I was focusing on, the performing arts, the English, the brethrens, everything, I realized that all of that was about being a performance poet. And then I found the poetry circuit, which is always here, but if you don't know, you don't know. And then once I found that, that was it for me.
And there was this underground spoken word circuit
Absolutely.
in London that was just booming.
Absolutely.
So much talent. But what you managed to do is meet Marsha and decide you can turn spoken word into music. So still delivering it spoken word,
yeah.
but as you're lyrical, but you're musical, just as musical at the same time. How do you get to that stage?
Well, Marsha and I, both as solo individuals, we both knew that we were, you know, dancing our fields, like we were holding ground in our fields. And Marsha was writing, she was songwriting at the time. I heard some stuff she was doing. I was working in poetry, but I was on a deep study of how to make poetry more marketable, how do you get people to press play again, who's going to hit rewind, music, how music makes people feel, how it reacts in the body. I was on a deep dive, okay? And it got to a point we had a show coming up and I wanted to do something new. Marsha had called me and said, you know, she heard about, I don't know if you can remember, Michelle, Black Pepper. Can you remember Black Pepper? It used to go on at South Bank Uni. So we were doing shows down there. I'd started working with a band, with my group 3+1. And Marsha and I had a conversation. She had a chorus, I had some verses, and we put them together. And I invited her down to my stage. So she had places she was performing, but they were much more kind of shiny. It was industry stuff or whatever. And I wanted her to come down and get appreciation for her actual gift. So I invited her down and we had this piece that we did. It was actually at a show that was called Poets versus MCs. Poets won, of course. God rest his soul, Ty was there, you know, Breeze, they were the MCs, 3+1 were the poets, and
you guys won.
And I brought Marsha down that day, and we performed a piece called Fantasize. And in that moment, I knew something had happened, something special had happened. Very soon after, the brain starts going fusion. Dan again in himself, journalist, MC, very much a part of the culture, pushing things forward at the time. We were leaving a show one day. People were calling us Nat and Marsh because I was bringing my friend on the stage. It's Nat and Marsh, and that just wasn't working. And Fusion said, man, all that poetry and you're flowing and it's flowetry, man. Brain. So I literally went home on the bus that night. Flowetry. My flow assists to her song, that stress. Flow assist, took out a couple, but flow assist, songstress, flowetry, then that was it. Flowetry, poetic delivery, musical intent, floetic ethos, flowicism is the movement, flowology is the mindset, all of this stuff on papers everywhere, you know, insomnia and all of that. Then I started to book us gigs. I eventually started to book us some gigs in the States because I knew something had just happened in the UK. All the A&Rs had been shut down, where we'd had this thriving British soul scene, Omar, Misha Paris, loose ends, brocking down the place, you know. All of a sudden it was cut. And I knew there was nowhere for us here. So I started to book shows in the States.
Okay, can I just back up though? How do you book places in the States?
Well,
like you make it sound so simple.
It's the Windrush audacity, you see, of the army brat. You just think that the world is your oyster, you know, and it's like, well, if it's not here, maybe it's over there. And Love Jones was out, and all these, you know, we knew that the scene was huge over there. So we had some friends who had moved to Atlanta, and they were aware of the poetry scene here. They went to Atlanta. The poetry scene was just, I mean, what is a niche over here is like, you know, huge over there. I email, big brick phones, phone cards. I managed to make some connections in the States. I had through the basketball links, we had a few friends who were playing ball. A friend of mine, Marsha and I's actually, who was playing basketball in New Jersey, his agent heard a tape that we were on and played the tape to a guy in Philly who called. And I mean, I had on I was a manager, you know, I was a tour manager, I was creating artwork, I was creating blurb and all different types of things. Got us some 8x10s done and got us booked to go to the States. So my dad drove me to the airport like I was lying, like he's still doing, like, are you really going? Yeah, we're going, you know. And we went out to the States for a 2-week trip. We were in Atlanta for 2 days, went to Philly, and that was everything. Everything changed because we landed in Philly, neo soul popped off, you know, and we just dropped right in. You have to prepare for the opportunity, you know. So we were prepared for the opportunity, but you have to. We were talking about it the other day, Michelle, that burn, especially when you're younger and you know there's something you're supposed to be doing. You know, when I dropped out of uni, I called my dad, said, Dad, I'm a poet. Like, you should understand what I mean by that, Dad, I'm a poet, you know. Well, that was the first time I tried to drop out. He kept me in for a year, he bought me an apartment, And I just started to throw poetry gigs in there and write and stuff, you know. So he kept me in for another year, but I just knew there was something that needed doing. There was somewhere I needed to be. So got us out to the States, and it just rolled on.
So you got to Philly, and was it Jazzy Jeff that heard you?
Yeah, we got to
Fresh
Philly.
Prince.
So what happened was we got to Philly, and so I just said we were doing Black Pepper here. And in Philly, they had this event called Black Lily. And, you know, I used to tell myself, everything's a sign. That's a sign. We've got to do Black Pepper, Black Lily. So we did Black Lily. And Black Lily at that time, so for $5, right, you used to come. Now, the bands were playing with everybody, so all the musos. But you would literally get Jill Scott. Jasmine Sullivan was 14. She used to have to come with her mum because they sold alcohol in there, you know. Music Soul Child, Jaguar Wright, just all of us were in there, you know. It was just ridiculous. And that used to be our jam. So we'd all be in studios all around the city, and then we'd go there and we would jam. And we walked into that, you know, and just walked in, up onto the stage, took part in it. And then 2 producers from Jazzy Jeff's production company, which is called A Touch of Jazz. So Darren Henson and Keith Pelzer, they saw us there and invited us down. And literally the first night we went to the studio, we made Floetic. We made 11 songs in 7 days. 7 of those songs are on Floetic. But we were recording like someone might kick us out, like someone's gonna realize we don't have a budget, you know? But we got there at a great time. Jill Scott's record was just finishing up. Music was in the middle. Music used to sleep on the couch, you know, like he
Come on.
He was busking at the time.
Can we just pause?
Together.
Music Soul Child used to sleep on your couch.
Yeah, man, we were all just there. It was just vibes. Bilal, my first song I ever placed was on Bilal's first album.
Wow, that's a great first album, by the way.
Yeah, so that album was dope. So, I mean, gosh, we were there for a few weeks. We came home. When we went back, all of this happens because we met Dr. J's son, again, signs, basketball. So Dr. J's son becomes our manager. And, I mean, this is all in 2000. April 2000, we first go out. We go back out June of 2000. And by November, we're signed and getting ready to work with Michael Jackson the next year.
Well, I've got to say, because I've got to stop that, because that first song, I was just stunned, because I'd never heard anything like it before.
Oh, Floetic, yeah?
I'd never heard anything like it before. So then you're thinking, who's this? And then the extra bit was, they're from the UK. How did I miss these people? Like, how are they from the UK? Marsha I recognized. Marsha I had seen on the scene. You I did not. And just to have this sound, it was so polished, but organic at the same time. So how do they realize this is the one to release first?
We almost signed to Motown at one point. But then, we almost signed to Motown, but then a man by the name of John McCain, who was just an incredible A&R. I mean, John, Rhythm Nation, executive producer, signed Kirk Franklin, signed Shalimar, signed and he had heard about us. So Jazzy Jeff was getting a production deal. He played some of our songs. John heard it. John said, want to sign Floetry. Floetry is signing to Motown. Okay, can I call them? He calls us. We're in Jeff's studio, and John comes on the phone, and John's like, listen, I've got something I want to play to you guys. It's a voice note. Hold on a second. And he plays this voice note, and you just hear Michael Jackson. Hey, John. I love those girls. I love those girls. I love that song, John. Let's do it. Let's do that Butterfly song. I love it, John. And John was like, so yeah, look, if you sign with us, Michael will sing Butterflies. And we were like, okay.
Oh, you thought about that?
Okay,
That was a thought?
sorry, Motown. We're signing to DreamWorks, and so we signed to DreamWorks, and Michael did the song. So John wanted Floetic to be our first single, and that's how Floetic became our first single. But the minute we wrote it, it was the first single. It's just very much an introduction, you know? That's the whole focus of the song.
You sound young, but you don't, because you sound completely in control of your craft. So this is when I say to people about coming out too soon sometimes, and I feel like I came out too soon in many ways as in my musical career, because I've been acting so much. At my stage school, I'd worked on singing, and then everyone thought you're going to be a singer. It's like you, but people had your career sorted for you. But then I started working as an actress, and so I was like, I'm a singer, but I'm going to write this acting thing until I can get a record deal. But what you don't realize is, you know, my A&R man said to me, I wanted this person to work with you, and they refused. And I said, why did they refuse? And he said, this guy said about me, why would I work with her when there are musicians who've been working and honing their craft for years, and she's been on TV acting? I'd rather work with someone who's dedicated to music. And you know what? I had to accept that, because I had to accept that I love music, and I'd been working on it, but I had diverted. And you're trying to prove yourself to people, but sometimes you just have to accept that people are going to have their preconceived idea. And if anything, it really made me work hard, because I realized quite quickly that when I was out on the scene, it wasn't school anymore. People have been doing this for your Donnies. I remember working with Donnie and crying, like going home and crying and going, I'm not there. Like I am. He was really kind to me, actually, Donnie. But I just remember thinking,
Donnie's great.
And he gave me a singing teacher. He gave me a singing teacher called Glyn. He was Welsh, and you say only the Welsh and the blacks can sing. And he had that bar at the end. Only the Welsh and the blacks can sing bar. And he used to. And so my record company and my management said to me I was the most improved artist they'd had on their books, because I very quickly realized that I had to really work on that craft, really, really work on it. But you guys come out with your first record, and all I hear is the craft. Like, you must have put in your 10,000 hours, as they say.
Oh, there's a lot of study, definitely. There's performance study, but it's live, you know? And going to the States, if you can't perform live, it's just not gonna happen, you know? So we were ready to go live, and you had the study that Marsha had obviously done vocally, which they're very adept to, but there's holding a stage, and that's my forte, you know, interacting with the audience, what you do between the songs, how do you link it all, how do you join it, what's the message, why are they there? And we were ready for that, you know. I was ready for that. I was ready to meet my audience. It's something that had been brewing within me for a very long time, from very young. So I wanted to meet every single person, like, oh, they're all here, this is interesting, what can I share, why are we in the same space? And that was a deep focus. So you had this blending, I mean, that's what poetry was about, poetic delivery of musical intent. You had a blend of studio skills, you know, top lines, vocals, backgrounds, and all that, but you had content, you had intention, you had purpose, you had almost, you know, some of them songs are like little movies, you know, Sunshine, Mistress, they're not Headache, they're not just, you know, 2 minutes 30, how do I get it on the radio? They're, how does this become an impactful part of somebody's life? What's it about, you know? And I think that's what a lot of the magic, especially in that first album, was, because it was very organic, it was very free, not much had got involved, it was based on what it was based on, you know, what it was based on for a while. It was safe in that way.
It's the maturity, it's the authenticity, it's the craft. And I feel like you guys were, in America, you guys were everyone's favorite Brit. You guys were everyone's favorite British person, because I've been to America a few times, and they didn't really know they were black British people. So they always say to me, have you met the Queen?
Yeah.
No. Do you eat Thomas English muffins?
Yeah.
Nope. So you were everyone's favorite Brit. And for Michael Jackson to then go, I want to sing your song, and I want to sing exactly how you've written it.
It was a beautiful offering. Michael really wanted to promote us. That's all he wanted to do. He knew they were black British people, and he was excited to be able to get behind us, because I mean, that was, our record wasn't out when Michael recorded that. So that took, industry-wise, that swept the industry like fire, because Floetry had written a song for Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson had taken a Floetry song, so that kind of superseded, went ahead of us. And John used to do funny stuff, like he had me go to a Swizz Beats session once, because Swizz wanted to get some songs to Michael. So John was like, just pop into the studio and get Swizz to give you the CD he wants to go to Michael. He enjoyed doing stuff like that. Oh yeah, he is. Do you want to hear Michael?
Could we hear Michael Jackson's version of Butterfly? Or
Do you want to hear
clip?
Michael talking about?
Yeah. Hello, exclusive. Are we ready for this?
You can hear Michael talking about.
Okay. Yes, please.
Here she goes. Where am I going to find that? Michael was very radical, you know, and he liked to do deservedly things the way he wanted to do them, and he wanted to make a statement with us, and he wanted to champion us and just show what he thought of our creativity. Here, you've got this here. You can play that. Just click on that.
But that's such a beautiful thing for him to do.
Beautiful offering. And he was look, Michael knows what that industry is like, and he wanted us to come in with a stamp of approval, you know. Soon after Michael did that, Prince came, Stevie came, and they all came and gave their stamp of approval. Patti LaBelle, you know, they would all make their way.
Hey Mike, where did you get Butterflies from?
Well, Butterflies was these two girls named Floetry, and they came with the song, and we kind of worked together. It's mainly these other two girls who mainly composed that one.
Wow.
And I think they're British. They're British girls. They're black British girls. And they were just phenomenal. And I thought it was just, you know, something that I really, really liked. So we did some kind of counter, you know, hooks and lines, and painted it with different sounds and everything, different colors. And so we produced it, and I produced it, and just created something that was just acceptable, and it ended up going on the album.
Thank you for blessing us with that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you. So you were everyone's favorite group, and then it came to second album, and notoriously, if you're not in the music industry, the second album's always a pressure. So your first album blows up, it actually makes your second album a real pressure, because you want to evolve and grow, because you're learning your craft. You want to move it on, but people get very nervous who have paid you in advance to make an album, because once something becomes a hit, they want you to repeat it. They don't want you to change, because they feel like you've got a winning formula. We don't change that. It becomes very much about commerce. How did that second album go for you?
Well, we had interesting things happen. DreamWorks started to fold. The industry started to really change. So we got like an interim record. So we did Floacism, which was a live album DVD. John wanted to make sure everyone saw our live show, because that was at the heart of it all. and then we went over to Geffen. So the sophomore record is actually Flowology, but it's actually our third release, but it's our second studio album. Things had really changed by then. A Touch of Jazz on Floetic is the only album of that period that was only produced at A Touch of Jazz, okay? So there's 6 producers there that we worked with. Flowology, we worked with 2 original Touch of Jazz producers and a couple of others, including Scott Storch, who was at Geffen and he was at Interscope, had a Philly connections and everything, so we did Superstar and My Apology with Scott. But it was a bit different by now. You know, lots of things had changed. Butterflies had come out. People thought they knew what Floetry was, A&Rs, different things, different inputs.
But can we talk about that? Because I think people don't realize that when you're hot, all these people come out of the woodwork who had nothing to do with the beginning of your career, and they all want to ride off your success and start dictating all of a sudden which way you should go, because they feel that, and this is within the record industry, they feel somehow your shine will give them a promotion, your shine will give them money. And so this is why the record industry is so tricky. And you always try to make people, sometimes you see kids like Justin Bieber and Britney Spears, and you literally pray for them, because you know how unscrupulous the record industry can be. Mm-hmm. And so when you have a hit, people do come out of the woodwork and start wanting to be involved in a success. And that's not necessarily a good thing. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes it's you get someone really good and solid who knows how to move you on. But in my experience, most of the time it isn't great. Most of the time it's people who are trying to make you more commercial, trying to make you what they think is sellable. And
the sound of the industry was changing. You know, T-Pain, bless him, he's a lovely guy, but vocoder would come in, you know. There was a heavy lean on the content. Neo-soul got shut out. This kind of, I suppose we all knew about gangster rap, but the kind of stripper rap was coming in as well. So the look of female artists, music was shifting. I mean, Floetry got signed without being seen, you know? We got signed completely off of our content, our music, how it all sounded.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, absolutely. John McCain, telling you, he's a genius. By the time we get to Flowology, I mean, our saving grace is we're writers, and everybody knew we were prolific writers, so we didn't have no one came in to write anything. That weren't happening. Production, sounds changed. Flowology is a much darker sounding album. It's more melancholy. There's not as much Rhodes and Philly bounce and groove on it, you know. Raphael Sadiq produced on that album as well. He did a song on there, but it's different, and it was more to do with the wrapping up of sounds in the industry at the time than Floetry. Floetry was doing great. The audience, the touring was non-stop. You know, the first album was just an absolute success. And like you said, a lot of our peers were playing Floetry. You know, that was just how it was. But the industry was shifting at the time. So we got the record out. I mean, we make albums quickly as a group, as individuals. Writing is just not a problem, getting creativity done. But you did start to get some different types of influences, different type of phone calls coming in, different types of people wanting to be affiliated and associated. And that wasn't actually so much a problem for the creativity, but one of the things that made Floetry so dope is that Marsha and I are absolutely opposite.
In what sense?
We're completely different. And when that's in synergy, that's Floetic.
Yeah.
You know, you've got these two women talking about the same thing from their angles. just it's heavenly, you know, perfect, it's harmonious. But we're attracted to different things. We're attracted to different people, to different parts of the industry. So as that starts to become more, more of a lean, you start to feel a bit of a difference. But to be honest with you, seriously, the change of the actual agenda of the industry has more to do with it, because Jill don't have another album. Erica doesn't have another album. Lauren doesn't have another album. I can go down. Neo Soul disappears. It is no more. Even Jasmine, who we were expecting to come through in Neo Soul, ends up kind of going through a different
metamorphosis completely.
Avenue, you know, where all the licks are there, the vocal is there. That's all Neo Soul all day. That's Philly Soul. But the content's just a little bit different with the changing of the era, you know. Like, people like to cuss and sing it in riffs nowadays. Like, that wasn't what we used to do, you know.
But also, your relationship with Marsha changed, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
I think because of that sassy clip from Carnival, and I think because you're the vocal one, and Marsha is quiet, beautiful singer, but quiet, I think it's really easy for people to feel like, well, it must have been...
What did you do now?
It must have been Natalie. No, but I'm being serious with you, because sometimes it's not just that you're vivacious and alluring. It's just that you're also outspoken. And when I say outspoken, I mean in the way of sense of justice. You have this massive sense of justice. If you feel like something's not right, you'll be the one to speak. And you'll speak for me, you'll speak for Marsha, you'll speak for your mum. You know, this is who you are, right? Which is why you were defending Carnival so eloquently and so passionately, because you felt it was injustice the way that Carnival was being viewed. And that was clear, right? But what that does is, when you're outspoken, is you can become the target. And so when there's friction in the group, if you are not in the music industry, I feel like people will turn to you. Because I was in the music industry, and I know how unscrupulous people are, I would always think, someone has got in Marsha's ear, because she's the singer, and gone, hey, if you are solo, this could be massive. Because I'm friends with a lot of girl groups, a lot of male groups, where the singer that they think is going to be the one, someone's in their ear all the time saying, but if it was you on your own. Do you think that's what was happening with Marsha?
Well, Marsha signed a solo deal at the top of 2006 with Dr. Dre. So, yes.
Were you aware of the solo deal?
When it got signed. Not before. No, not before. However, like I said, the industry had changed also. So yeah, there's getting in ears, there's wanting different things. Floetry was my baby. I'm a poet. I mean, just listen to the name, poetry. I'm a poet. You know, the whole thing is my world, you know. The natural hair, the locks, the long denim skirts, the approach, the not man bashing, being responsible for yourself and trying to find a way, you know? So I wasn't looking to go anywhere else in that sense. And Marsha, I think, wanted to complete what it was that she wanted to do in the beginning, which wasn't Floetry. She did Floetry, and she enjoyed it while she enjoyed it. But like I said, the industry changed as well. So there was no neo soul, and there were a lot of spaces that were broken up in that way. Production companies, artists. The only difference is when I name everybody else, everyone's a solo. So Jill, Erica, look, everyone's solo. Marsha and I, it's not even a group, it's a duet. So it's, you know, all in favor say aye, all in favor saying it's one vote each way, you know? So that changed. But also, as a poet, there's poets in here that will understand this. It's deeper than music. It's deeper than business. Although there may have been people in ears, I have something in my ear. And my conscience is in my ear. The Most High is in my ear. So that's what's in my ear. And it's funny to be known for a song called All You Gotta Do Is Say Yes, because I live very much by all you gotta do is say no sometimes, you know. And I'm very proud of the things that I say no to, you know. So many things happened to make changes. But what's really beautiful is Floetry never dropped off. There's not one album too many. There's not an off-key, embarrassing song like You Lot Was Trying It. You know, that never happened. The audience is still there, still growing. I have young people coming up to me who are listening now, you know, hearing it for the first time. Actually, big people who come up to me and say, I grew up to your music. And I'm like, what? So did I. Grew up to my music, face deep, car keys in your hand, glass of wine, a boyfriend with a beard. Do you know what I mean? My mum loves you. Yeah, okay. But that is joyful. The fact that, you know, people say at times, well, how do I get some Floetry? It's like, no, what you don't want is one too many records. You don't want that. That would be a travesty. You know what I mean? You can get it. It's right there. It's perfect. It's captured in time. Play it again. It sounds good today, you know? So yeah, that did happen. Marsha signed a solo deal with Dr. Dre and Aftermath.
You must have been seething. I'm sorry. Like, you're acting so...
I got all the hindsight now, you know, so it's cool. I'm like,
You're being sounding so cool.
Oh, no, it broke me. It broke me. It broke my heart.
Wow.
Because it was my baby, and it worked. And I knew that I would have to return to good old Blighty, where we believe so much in everything and we celebrate ourselves so much. And I had a feeling that there would be a lack of empathy and a lack of understanding. I had a feeling that some of the things that I was the most proud of, which was what I didn't do and what I said no to, wouldn't be understood. I wouldn't be getting high five for not being at Diddy parties. Do you know what I mean?
Thank goodness you didn't.
Thank goodness. But, you know, you know. But like I say, as an artist, you know, I'm an artist. So you got to live. So I'm not trying to make it sound light, because it wasn't light. You know, it was a tough pill to swallow, because there was nothing wrong. It was beautiful. The audience was there. They were ready. Give me another record. Let's go again. Forget we were in this synergy. So yeah, you know, when someone takes the ball and goes home, you're like, I'm still playing, man. Mm-hmm. But like I like to say, when someone closes the door, check the windows. You know, what's being said to you? What are you supposed to be doing? What else? Maybe you're supposed to stop. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's that. You know, maybe you don't know why you're supposed to stop. Maybe you're being saved right now. And hindsight has given me all of that. It was hard, and it was personal, and I had to deal with it. When you are very audacious and you live in an audacious manner, you have to deal with all of that. You have to deal with when it's great, and you have to deal with when it's not great. And just as much as you get the accolade for being so original, you have to deal with the loneliness as well. You know,
really,
you do. You have to deal with profound. A lack of understanding. You have to deal with a lack of empathy. It's like COVID. During COVID, you know, social distancing. Everyone was thinking about each other. Not many people were thinking about the musos and what it means to artists when you say socially distance. It's like people's worlds were over. Yeah. You know, and you didn't hear, here's your furlough because you're an amazing drummer, you're an amazing guitarist, you're an amazing pianist, you're a singer. Here, this will ride you over until the end. No, they literally said, find a new talent, like do something else.
What did they tell the ballet dancer to do instead? Was she supposed to go into IT?
This is what was, you know,
cyber.
So there's a deep lack of empathy for the people who fill the entertainment role, because most people work and then they relax for entertainment. But the idea of understanding what it's like at the office for the artist, it seems as though it's just fun. That's a fun job, you know? So you don't necessarily get much empathy. You get much reward when it's happening. It's beautiful, the energy, but you don't get much empathy. So you go into a very private place of growth. And if you don't have some form of higher, bigger, spiritual, if you're not on any form of path, it will break you. But what had happened in my life, I had an opportunity. What are you going to do? Are you going to be broken by something, or are you going to realize that you succeeded?
Beautiful.
Are you going to recognize your success? Are you going to recognize that, little girl, you just went from South London with an idea in your head that you told your dad, I'm a poet, I got to go do something. And you went and you got 7 Grammy nominations, sold a couple million records, worked with Michael Jackson, was at Prince's house jamming. Are you going to pretend you didn't do that just because some people don't know? Or are you going to recognize what you did and stay on this ride and be like, what's next? Like, let me prepare myself, because I have proof now.
Yeah.
I have proof now. I have proof of the visions I had as a child, the drive that I had as a young person. I have proof that those things are purposeful. So let me get on my work.
When did you come back to the realization that you were ready to do a solo album?
I always say I never went solo, I became solo. Because I was never thinking about solo music at all. But I was approached by a label called Shanachie, which is interesting because it's a Gaelic word for poet and bard. And they came to me and they...
You love your signs?
Yeah, you know, I love my signs.
Sign.
And they came to me and asked me if I would like to do an album. So that was 2010. And I said, yeah, cool. I worked with some really beautiful producers out in the States. J.R. Hudson, who is just incredible. I also worked with Chris Big Dog Davis. I smile. I wish he was here. He's huge. And all he says is, it's love, it's love. I worked with Big Dog. But we got together and we made a record, again, very quickly. I live. So when I go in the studio, I'm not one for studio time. Do you know what I mean? That's the office. Like, get it done. I don't, like, hang out and invite friends over. That's not my idea of studio. And after working with Michael Jackson, who worked from 10 till 3, I was like, well, I might learn from that.
Yeah.
So I live, so when you get in the studio, I get it done. The song's there, I hear something, I've got something for it. So that album I made, I recorded in 2 weeks. Most of my albums are recorded very quickly. 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks. So that was Floetic Soul. That was how I made my first solo album. I made that 2010, then 2012. I had Floetry Rebirth because I wanted to celebrate 10 years of Floetry. So I did. And then Rise of the Phoenix Mermaid I recorded in 2014.
Can we hear something from your first
solo album? Yeah, absolutely.
Can we hear On It? Can we hear On It?
Oh, On It. This one and all. Yeah. You got this? Yeah. On It. I'm gonna give you some of my secrets. Yeah. Okay. Here's my meditation. Whatever it is. Yeah. Wherever I go. Yeah. Whatever I choose. On it. Cause I want it. I'm on it cause I want it. It's just the way that I be. It's the way that I are. It's the little things that'll make you superstar. You should feel it in your heart, and that'll let you know exactly how far it is you're really gonna go. And if you really wanna know, then you really gotta see. You gotta be the winner every time you dream. You better be the author every single scene. Cause trust me, if you're not, then you'll never get the lead. And it's all up to you. Every single hope, every thought is a tool. Everything you try, you apply, then you do. Ain't nothing you can lose when you're dealing with your truth. Let your purpose be your proof. Keep it true, keep it you, and it'll choose you. Feeling all afraid, just let it raise you. Feeling like you're lost, just let it be you. Let this walk guide you, yeah. Whatever it is, I'm gonna give cause I got it. It's gonna show cause I want it. I'll never lose cause I'm on it. I'm on it if I want it. I'm on it cause I want it. Whatever it is, I'm gonna give cause I got it. It's gonna show cause I got it. I'll never lose cause I'm on it. I'm on it cause I want it. You see, there's something with a standard when you set it for yourself. It's a way that you make it, from the money to the wealth. Way that you extract all the stress from your health. Way that you shuffle up the hand you've been dealt. There's something that you're feeling, you know you wanna say. Make sure when you say it so it stays. You're gonna be a memory, be one that never fades. If you got a vision, now you gotta trade. Yo, it's all up to you. Every single tear, every fear, it's a tool. Everything you try, you apply, then you do. Ain't nothing you can lose when you're dealing with your truth. Let your purpose be your proof. Keep it true, keep it you, and it'll choose you. Feeling all afraid, just let it raise you. Feeling like you're lost, just let it be you. Let this walk free you, yeah. Whatever it is, I'm gonna give cause I got it. It's gonna show cause I want it. I'll never lose cause I'm on it. I'm on it, I'm on it, I'm on it, I'm on it. Whatever it is, I'm gonna give cause I got it. It's gonna show cause I want it. I'll never lose cause I'm on it, I'm on it, I'm on it, I'm on it. Mantras, mantras, now you know you got it right. So be ready, right? Be on it now, yeah. You know you got it, baby. So go and get it, baby. Be on it now. Whatever it is, life, love, dreams, home, away, it's all comfort zones. Manifesting, aligning, I'm on it, I'm on it. I live, I learn, I acknowledge, I submit, I become, I get better, and I love it. Yeah, yeah. Wherever I go, whatever I choose, I'm on it cause I want it. I'm on it cause I want it. Whatever it is, I'm gonna give cause I got it. It's gonna show cause I want it. I'll never lose cause I'm on it. I'm on it cause I want it. I'm on it cause I want it. Yeah. And that's what had happened. That album, as you can see, is the first non-flow title. Right? So we get Floetic, Floicism, Flowology, Floetic Soul, Floetry Rebirth. And then you get Rise of the Phoenix Mermaid. And interestingly enough, that was the first time that I accepted that I was a recording artist. Okay? So I knew I was a poet. I knew I was an actress. I used to write that on, give me a visa paper, occupation poet.
Did you?
Literally, yeah. But I was albums in before I allowed myself to accept that I was a recording artist. And I woke up one day and I was victorious over a lot of things at this point. I'd healed, I'd grown, I'd righted wrongs, I'd sorted out things I needed to sort out, I'd ended relationships I needed to end, I'd taken responsibility of my healing. And I woke up one day and I was like, I want to make an album. And I called the label. I said, I want to make an album. And they said, okay, you're Floacist, of course. And I called the producers, said, guys, I'm ready, let's go. I called Chris, actually. Chris and I did that album. And I flew myself out. And I did the budget. And I set the whole photo shoot. And I'd set the photo shoots for a lot of, but I did this, And it was very, very, very liberating.
Because you backed yourself, right?
Oh, I
Finally.
backed myself. Even the album, there were songs that I'd written that hadn't got onto albums. There were songs that I'd written that were waiting for something that didn't happen. I went back into my own catalog and liberated some of those pieces. And I'd also just started to grow my locks back too.
Yeah.
You know?
Because there was a point where Natalie had shaved all her hair off, and I always wondered what that was. Was that down to cleansing?
Complete cleansing, complete and utter cleansing. You know, so Floetic Soul, my first solo album, I completely, my hair's off, which I'm an extremist.
You were cute.
I love no hair and hair down my back, one or the other, you know. So yeah, that was where Rise of the Phoenix Mermaid come from, and that's 2014, and it's a good segue because that's also when I opened Flow Vortex.
Flow Vortex.
Yeah.
Anyone who was here at 4:00, you would have seen Flow Vortex, which is where the wonderful Floacist just gets like the Avengers of poetry together.
Yeah.
And no one knows who's going to go. There's no order. Is that right? There's no order. They like look at each other, and it's like, you, me. They play this kind of, yeah, I'm ready. And then they get up, and they deliver. And that's definitely when I went to see that. It's in Peckham usually. When I went to see it, that's one of the best nights I've had out in London for at least 10 years. Like I told everyone, and I said, you've got to bring this here. I did skip. It's because I need you to make a choice, right? So we're either going to go 360, because you did tell us a story about Music Soul Child sleeping on your sofa, and then cut to you making a song with Music Soul Child.
Yeah, that's on my first solo album.
Right?
Yeah.
Or we go all the way forward into what's coming next.
Oh, Mish, you know.
I'm sorry, you're going to make a choice.
I know you love Forever, and I know that you love that song, and you adore it. And I have people in here today that they danced to Forever at their wedding, and I said to them, you know, I'm performing that today. However, we've been swimming in the past, which I love, I adore it, but I would like to talk about what's to come.
Yes, let's go.
Because it's a blessing to have things to come.
Look at the sacrifice I've made, look.
I know.
I've given.
I know. And my dear love is here with me today, Robbie Maddox, who
of the Stone Roses, may I add. Stone Roses.
He could have been sat here, Maestro Rising himself. His history in music is just exquisite. Just Rebel MC's original MD. You know, I'm no grime if you don't have no Rebel MC. All the way through to Stone Roses, you know. I know we were all shocked when we saw a black man in the rock band badding up the place. Come on. And everything in between, because he's also an executive. And he's my love. And gratefully, the little girl who had to fly all the way to America to make music and make her way through, we make music in the living room now, you know?
Wow.
Multi-instrumentalist and executive producer extraordinaire. And we have a unit called I. So you have the little girl in Floetry through to grown woman, young grown woman, as the Floacist. And now you have the married woman in I. And we have a project coming out next year. Oh, it's good for you. You see what's great about being an artist? I'm not an athlete. I don't get slower, you know? I don't lose my jump. I get better, you know? So we have a project coming. Ooh, it's good for you. It's good for us. We have a project on the way, and I've got a track if you want.
Do we want to hear exclusively?
I got one. My love, I think we got Supernatural there.
we're going to hear this exclusively, even though I begged Natalie
to do forever.
to do forever. Even though
We can play it when everyone's walking out.
Natalie to do forever.
And I brought the TV track with music on it, you know. You'd have had Music Soul Child in here, but not in here. We've got something on the way for you. Yeah. This is Supernatural. I and I. Brand new 2025. Yeah. If you're like whatever, then I'm like whatever. Cause wherever we're together, I'm cool. So let's pack up our courage and invest this knowledge into loving and becoming anew. See, here in these times, so many lost minds, people renting out their souls, higher purchase. Ambition and fame have turned some insane, but we know that these riches aren't worth it. Enough is enough and too much is too much. So for real, girl, you know we got plenty. The purpose of purpose, refocus the focus. I see you, baby, you see me. Here in these times, some get left behind and some leave of their own choice. They go deep inside, so prayer can now guide the actions commanded by voice. We are. I'm gonna teach you this chorus. It's real simple, right? Yeah. Supernatural. Real simple. You sing natural. Supernatural. Real simple. Yo, it's so evident this love is evident. The benefits is evident. Keep us alive. It's a testament, kite like a compliment. Acknowledgement is nourishment, heart, soul, and mind. Every time that you say, give thanks to the Most High for granting our stay. A chance to love you to down to today. Tomorrow's a blessing beyond any pay. Priceless, it feels good to know this. Poor lights and trees with our thoughts we grow this. Organic like the trees we believe, no show with. Organic like the trees we breathe, we're in service. So, let the healing heal you. Emancipate the mind, let the feeling free you. It's elevating times if the calling hails you. You know what to do, just be you and free you. That's what we do. I'm gonna get you singing. You're gonna sing it here. Yeah. Supernatural. Real simple. We. Oh, you've heard it before. I like this. Supernatural. Sing the song, sing the song, sing along, sing. Natural, baby. So supernatural, baby. We be so good, so supernatural. Yeah, you good and I'm good, baby. We be alright. Bathing in blessings through day and through night. Powering up or is burning so bright. We be the darkness that gave birth to light. We be the darkness that gave birth to light. Powering up or is burning so bright. Bathing in blessings through day and through night. You good and I'm good, baby. We be alright. We're so natural. Hey, you're working. So good, so good. One more time, sing along, sing. I'm hearing harmonies, I'm hearing harmonies. Where the altos, where the altos. Here we go. One more time, say. Hey, yeah, so natural, baby. Since super. Keep going, you're still on the clock. They fading out. One more time, you sing. Come on now, come on now. So. One more time, because we need a big finish. We need a big finish. One more time. So natural, baby. They all went church. They all went church. They all went church. Yes, I and I.
I can't believe what I just heard because you wouldn't play it to me. I didn't know what was going to come. I wanted forever. Now I'm happy. I am very happy. No, listen.
Yes.
You, my love, deserve your flowers.
Bless you.
Let's bring you some flowers.
Oh, bless you.
I'm so proud of the person you are. I'm so proud of your growth. I'm so proud that you're teaching all of us that when you come through adversity, you can
Thank you, my love.
You can stand in grace through the adversity.
We give thanks.
You deserve your flowers, my love.
Thank you,
Guys,
beloved.
please give it up.
Thank you.
To Natalie, the Floacist.
Thank you. Changed. I had you. When my heart was rearranged, I had you. Yeah. When I hit rock bottom, babe, I had you. And when I thought I'd been forgotten, babe, I had you. When I faced all my fears, I had you. And when I thought nobody cared, I had you. And that's why whatever you want from me, you know you got it. Whatever you need, baby, you're gonna get it. Oh, you got me forever. Oh, you got me forever. Listen, give you a second. In so many ways, babe.
So many ways, babe.
You've helped me to grow.
Help me to grow.
There are so many things, love.
There are so many things.
You've helped me to know.
Help me to grow.
If I did it all again, baby,
Did it all again.
I'd choose you.
I choose you.
'Cause there is no end. We're never through. You're gonna have to help me. You're gonna have to help me.
That's
Now,
why.
whatever you want from me, you know you got it.
You know you got it. Yeah.
Whatever you need, baby, you're gonna get it.
You're gonna get it.
Oh, you got me
Said you
forever.
got me.
Oh, you got
Said
me
you got me.
forever. I can feel you in my soul. Your love, it always shows up. I can hear you in my heart. You never let me down. Together we have grown up. See higher and higher. Say this lifetime's not the first lifetime. This lifetime's not the last lifetime. I'll never let you down. This is a real love, the true love, and that's why whatever you want from me, you know you got it. Listen to music now, him gone, him gone. Whatever you need, baby, you're gonna get it. Oh, you got me Whatever you want from me, you know you got it. Whatever you need, baby, you're gonna get it. Oh, you got me forever. Oh, you got me There we go.